You've seen those top 10 lists, but this one might hit close to home. Top 10 mistakes biomedical scientists students make. Are you making one of them? Don't worry, I'm not here to shame. I'm here to help you to avoid those pitfalls so you can thrive in your degree and future career, whether you're just starting out or already knee deep in lab report courseworks. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what not to do and how to set yourself up for success. And hey, I'll be honest, I've made some of those mistakes. I've learned the hard way. So let's save you some trouble with this definitive countdown. Which mistakes do you think is number one? Let's dive in and see if you guessed right. So let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. This video is quite close to home, and it took me some time to think about it and to put it all together. I know some people might have shared it here and there, but I thought this way, if I can just share it with you guys, explain what these mistakes are in full details, and at least the solution, to have the solution on how to overcome that, because it's never too late. There's a way around it. So let's go. I've named it to avoid pitfalls in biomedical science. And why do these mistakes matter? Because you have to appreciate that making mistakes is absolutely normal, and think of that university is part of your journey, because it's a launch pad. It's where you start, and then learning from each other's mistakes, it can save you a lot of time, including the mistakes that I have made. So some of them I had to learn the hard way, but this is not to name and shame. This is for you to learn about those mistakes, to acknowledge them, to understand why are they mistakes and how you can find a solution to overcome those mistakes. So I've put them as 10 mistakes, and yeah, let's get started. So the first mistake, and the most common, and I put it as the first number one, is entering biomedical science by chance, not by choice, by not having a clear why. And this is very common. I'm one of you guys. Not to have a clear reason or passion on why you chose biomedical science. Maybe you just wanted to get into medicine and you couldn't get into it because it's easier to get into biomedicine. And maybe the name, and I've heard all these common names that, oh, biomedicine sounds trendy, it's close to medicine. You're not the only one. A lot of people, and I've heard it many times when I was doing my research about it. I didn't want to get into medicine because I didn't think I was smart enough. That's the whole reason I chose science. So that is a common mistake. So why is it a mistake? Because it's a tough degree. And when it gets tough, and it will get tough, you need the motivation to motivate you, to push you further, because there will be challenging times. So knowing your why will make it easier, and it will drive you to push through those challenges. And I put that, and I hope it doesn't offend anyone. It's like running a marathon and not knowing why you're running. So that's why this is the number one mistake, and is the most common. But there is a solution, and the first one, always start with why. That's the number one question you should be asking yourself, and that way it will help you to find your purpose. Ask yourself, what excites you about biomedical science? Is it curing diseases? Is it working in a lab? Is it the idea of helping patients, or dealing with cool technology, since technology is in laboratories now? Talk to mentors, professors. A good mentor can help you to discover what you're passionate about. So clarity, motivation in your classes, and proactivity to seek opportunities, they will help you, and everything will click when you know what's your why. And that's in my first book. That was the first question I asked myself. I was one of you guys. I made that mistake. I didn't if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Aida Noor. I'm a biomedical scientist, a UK registered biomedical scientist, and I've taken the longest path to become a biomedical scientist. So that's why I created this channel. I specialize in infection sciences or medical microbiology. So I didn't have an accredited degree, I didn't have any lab experience, so I had to go through the whole thing. And the reason I chose biomedical science is because I did a degree in biochemistry and I didn't know what to do with the degree. So I was saying, okay, I'm going to do masters. So I was trying to decide between pharmacy and biomedical science. So I chose biomedical science, thinking that will qualify me to work in a lab. So I didn't know why I chose this career, but then I don't regret it now because that's why I'm here to share with you the mistakes. So let's go to the mistake number 2. So the second mistake, ignoring opportunities outside the classroom, having a tunnel vision just on your coursework, staying in your little academic bubble and ignoring all the extra opportunities around you, never attending guest lectures or webinars, not joining clubs, skipping volunteering opportunities, just focusing on classes, and that's not enough. Degree is much more than a class that you take. It requires engagement with wider scientific community while you're still a student. And students who only stick to lectures and library, they really miss out on developing critical skills and connections. And here's why this is a mistake. Opportunities like attending seminars, conferences, or even small departmental ones, such as science clubs or volunteering in a lab, can expand your horizon. They let you apply the knowledge, meet the people, discover different aspects of biomedical science that you won't see in class. It can be fun. It will reignite your excitement in the field when coursework feels dry and exams can be stressful. Students who land on internships because they chatted with a guest speaker after a talk, or a peer who found their passion by volunteering during a health awareness campaign, which there's loads of them. None of this will happen if you just stay in the classroom and not participate or doing the bare minimum, because you will be surprised how much you're missing out. So this is number 2 mistake, by just staying in your bubble. So what's the solution? The solution is you need to get involved. Attend even virtual panel discussions in your departments when you get emails about them or informed about them. Join Biomedical Science Society or start one if it doesn't exist. Participate in competitions or those that can be in your school or faculty. Consider volunteering or shadowing. It can be in a research lab or a hospital pathology department or even with a science outreach group. This experience is golden because that will enhance your CV and it will give you stories and practicals for you to show off that pure coursework won't give you. And there's an old saying which I love: 90% of life is showing up. So make sure that you open your campus letter. Any information that you get sent, have a look at it, because you never know. This is where opportunities happen. And then at least go to one event, like once a month, once a week. That way you'll be surprised on what you will learn and who you might meet, because this is how you expose yourself to these opportunities. Truly, I wish someone told me that. I was really focused on my exams and that's it, and coursework. And I just wanted to get the studies done so that I can get paid. So absolutely make sure that you have an open eyes and mind. Be an open person. That's the way that you'll be surprised. You might land on an opportunity before you even graduate. So let's move to the next mistake. So the third mistake is thinking of research for later. Pushing off research, thinking that I'll worry about research later on. I'll just focus on my studies. I'll leave it until I graduate or for the final year. I'll just make sure that I focus on my exams and get the highest grades. Biomedical science at its core is based on research, ideas, all that work. So don't push that to the last moment. You'll be surprised on how it's short-charging your studies. Why delaying research? It's considered as a problem. Skills. Doing research will teach you critical lab skills. For a scientist, in terms of designing experiments, analyzing data, troubleshooting, which cannot be found in textbook alone. It will give you clarity. By trying out research early, you learn what you enjoy and what you don't. Opportunities. Research experience will make you stronger candidate for jobs and graduate programs. So what would be the solution? Start small, not later. Start research small now, not later. Ask your professors or course leaders if you can assist in their lab for a few hours a week, or doing a small project as part of a class. If your school has a research module, get involved. Or even summer research programs, they do exist, get involved. If wet lab is inaccessible, there's no lab work, consider literature research or case study or anything that engages you with scientific curiosity beyond exams and coursework. And ask questions in class. Curiosity is the way forward, because you might create a research topic. That's how ideas come, and that way you can dive in deeper with the guidance of the professor. And one thing I want you to appreciate is the key is to treat research as part of your learning, not as an add-on. It's not. It's research is the core of everything. So don't delay that. It's definitely something that you need to consider, because it's part of it, as simple as that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It's just that, as it is. So let's move into mistake number 4. This mistake is the least spoken about. I can see some efforts with students about it, but not building a professional network and a profile, just flying under the radar. That's a mistake number 4. Neglecting your professional network, thinking, oh, I'm going to be a scientist. Networking is only for business people. No, you'll be surprised. Or think that LinkedIn, it's something to worry about after graduation. That's a mistake I made. I didn't create a LinkedIn profile until I became a qualified biomedical scientist, thinking a title is attached to my name, therefore I will fit in. No, LinkedIn is a professional network for every level. So why is this very important? Why? Let's look at it that way. A large portion of jobs or research opportunities are not publicly advertised. They happen through connections. And I've seen that with my real eyes. If you wait until your degree to start meeting people in this field, you're late in the game. Think about it. If an internship supervisor or potential mentor searches your name, what will they find? Having a LinkedIn with your interest, education, and a bit of summary about yourself can make a difference. So being visible in a good way in your department or online communities can make all the difference. So if you haven't done that, what's the solution? Start networking and personal branding now in a genuine way. Personal branding is nothing to do with products. Personal branding is you. You are the brand, your interests, your value, your everything. So creating a LinkedIn is the first step. It's like having your online CV, which it's online. It works for you while you're asleep. You can list your degree, your courses, your skills, and a bit of a sentence about yourself, your current situation. What are you aiming for? For example, biomedical science students passionate about cancer research, for example. You connect with your classmates, your peers, your professors, and professionals that you might meet. You engage in professional communities by joining any local or global bioscience association. Seek mentors. Even connecting with alumni from your program can provide insights. So don't fly under the radar. Start building your professional footprints and relationships now. It's not about self-promotion for ego's sake. It's about opening doors for your future and learning from others. So like the old saying, network is your net worth, even in science. So put yourself out there a bit. Your future self will thank your present you. So I can talk about this extensively, and it is. Just think of it that the world is governed by who you know. It's all about connections. And I wish this is something I was told. That's why having a mentor can help. I spoke about mentorship before, the importance of mentorship. You need to put in the work and find the right person who will guide you. Attending alumni events, networking. Believe me, once you get started, you will know what is it like. You will have an idea what suits you. Just get started. Start small and then gradually build upon that. So now let's move into mistake number 5. So mistake number 5, that is interesting, and it's a mistake that I made myself. Seeing lab work as just following the textbook, skimming the surface. Treating lab sessions and practical work as checklists rather than deep learning experience. Thinking of lab science as doing the steps as the manual tells you without trying to understand or to explore. I'm here to pass the lab. I just need the data, write the report, and I'm done. This is a mistake because you missed the chance on learning and developing the real scientific thinking and creativity. So what does this mean? When you're doing experiments, don't just blindly follow the steps or the instructions. You need to think about why you're doing each step. There's a reason behind it. Ask yourself, how does this technique actually work? What could go wrong? How does this result fit? Trying to get the bigger picture. That's where learning happens. So just think of laboratory work that is not only about immediate experiments at hand. Think of it this way. Learning broader lab skills is like how you design an experiment, how to maintain a lab, lab notebook. The importance of adhering to safety and quality standards. Have you ever heard of QMS? That's the first thing you read about. Quality management system in a lab is extremely important. That's the backbone of reliable science, and something you will want to know if you work in a clinical or industry lab. Is the core, the backbone of it. So students who ignore this, they go through the lab and they will later find themselves struggling once they're in the industry or in a research setting, because a lot of independent thinking, it's important here. You need to learn how to work, of course, part of the team, but you need to learn how to work independently. So what's the solution? Be curious and proactive when you're in the lab. Prepare before you step in the lab. Know the purpose of the experiment. During the lab, if you have a downtime, like waiting for an incubation, use it to speak to lab instructors, the technicians. Ask about what real applications of this experiment. Any machines that can catch your eyes, what do they do? If the results go off or there's something wrong, dig in. Maybe there's a bit of research that you need. Ask or repeat to troubleshoot. Consider joining any extra lab skills workshops if offered, even if you get trained on a machine that's not in the curriculum. Maybe you can learn how to use the mass spectrometer just out of interest. You'll be surprised how much you're going to learn. So the benefits of when you treat the lab as more than just a class to attend or a gathering with your peers, with the partner that you like working with, it's a simulation of professional science. You build confidence and competence that sets you apart. You start to think like a scientist, not just as a student. And guess what? That's exactly what employers and grad schools are looking for. They love students who have gone beyond the coursework and truly understand about science. So just to recap, what I'm doing now, because I did say at the beginning of this video that I will be listing the top 10 lists, but because I want to explain each mistake and elaborate and give you the solution, I decided to do it into 2 parts. So this part is for you to go away, reflect, and next week we're going to look at the second part, and then we're going to recap on that, because I really want you to understand this, because these mistakes I had to learn the hard way, and a lot of people had to do those mistakes. So I'm using this platform to help you and try and give you, the solution, because we've got all these platforms now. The communication is much easier. And again, I'm sharing it from my own personal experience. So let's recap those 5 mistakes that we spoke about today in this session, in this video. The first one is not having a clear why. Remember, you find your passion and you let it drive you. Ignoring opportunities. Science happens beyond classrooms. Get out there. Put enough research. Start small and start early. Don't wait for later, because that's going to be way too late. Not networking or not having a profile. Building your professional presence. It can open doors that you didn't know they existed. Superficial lab approach. Not treating the lab work seriously. Dive deeper in lab. Learn real skills. So I also want you to take away this timeline of success if you're a student, wherever you are in your university years. In the first year, as a student, you begin your academic journey in biomedical science. The second year, students gain a bit of hands experience in laboratory, which is the core of this career. In the third year, students, they will complete your, if you're lucky enough to get into internship, that way you've got theory, knowledge, practicality together. In the fourth year, students prepare for their projects, present it, and graduate. Year 5, which not a lot of people talk about, when you become a postgraduate, you enter the biomedical science force and careers. So I hope in this video, I was trying to put it in a simplified way. I want you to take away this, have a look at it, and ask me any questions that you might have, because this channel is about communication. It's I've done several Q&A videos, and I'm really grateful for your engagement, guys. So I want you to look at this, because this is how it's going to help you, as simple as that. But again, any feedback is appreciated, so we can continue this conversation. So next week, we're going to have a look at the second half of this series, the mistakes. Let me know what mistakes you might currently doing or might have. Share your experiences. We continue this conversation. Maybe there's some mistakes that I haven't listed, so we're going to talk about that. Let's find out next week. And until the next video, keep shining, keep inspiring, and see you next time.